outstanding, outstanding to say the least. I think that, again, agreeing with you 110% on the fact that you can teach anyone to go and conquer or dominate or destroy something, but to teach someone how to reintegrate into society, that is something that you just can't, especially after experiencing those things. Again, I could never understand how that feels because I've never been through it. But for someone who has, like yourself, been through things like that, how, not not focus on that part. I would say maybe even more than the part of training the person to go into, to not focus on that part or give that much more, if not more emphasis on that. It's almost like, what do you, I'm not sure what your thoughts are, but why do you think that is? Why do you think the military doesn't focus on it? Do you just feel like it's just a lack of empathy, or is it bigger than that? Is it really just them saying, we don't care?
Kind of all of it.
Mm.
As the military as a whole, I could die tomorrow and then I'm just a number. As sad as it is,
Mm.
I'm a number. I'm a number to the big guy, to the big government, to Uncle Sam. But the Joes that are under me, as a squad leader, the guys that are under me, I'm everything to them. But they don't.
Mm.
Uncle Sam doesn't. Not that Uncle Sam is a bad guy, but I'm an ant,
Yeah.
huge mountain of ants. So it's there's a lot of things in the Army and in the military, but I say Army because that's where I'm in. I can relate most to
Yeah.
the Army. There's a lot of things in the military that are changing now that should have been changed 15, 20 years ago. The Army or the military is always 15 to 20 years late.
Right.
Technology-wise, medical-wise. Well, medical is different because a lot of stuff comes from the Army to the medical side. But like the way we do certain things, the way we treat mental health is, or tactical fighting, especially technology. We're always 10 to 15 degrees behind, years behind.
Wow.
Where society's at. So we're getting there. I know that when I got out of active, they put us in some courses, teach us how to go through interviews, but they didn't sit down and go through scenarios like everyday conversation. I had to relearn how to be a person.
Yeah.
Not that I
Right.
wasn't, but I did have a wife in a time, and I had a son, so it was a little bit easier for me. But they don't teach you how to get up and go to your everyday 9 to 5. Like I worked as a mechanic in an auto shop, and the first time someone, made me mad, I wanted to throw a wrench at him.
Right.
And I had a buddy one of the guys who was training me at the time when I was an apprentice was a former Marine. He had to pull me aside, like, I know it's hard. I know. As military, when you got a problem with somebody, you take them outside, you handle your business, shake hands, go back to work. Can't do that here. All these people are going to go to HR and complain about it.
Right.
What do I do with this energy? What do I do with this anger? It's going to take time for it to change. As much as I dislike where the media is going with some of this mental health, I think it might help the military a little bit and help them understand that there needs to be a change. Because you can make somebody a killer. How do you make a killer a human? It takes time and effort and probably therapy. I should probably get therapy. But taking me, I got out in 2017 of active. 2022, I'm just now starting to feel like a person again. And part of that, I have to credit to my ex-wife. Part of that, I have to credit that to my oldest son and my current wife and my youngest.
I love that.
My current wife is getting, is in school to get her master's in psychology. So she helps, uses all the fancy words to help talk to students. Hey, explain it Barney style. I'm not the smartest, but it's helped. I don't get as mad.
Yeah.
I wish I could give that to everybody. And with this business, I noticed how much it helped me. If I can give somebody a support system who needs it most across the board, we can save lives. We can keep veterans from killing each other or kill themselves or each other. We can keep, cops from getting, blasted on the news because of one or two bad apples.
Exactly.
Firefighters from quitting because it's just too much. We can, the medical staff. There's a shortage of nurses right now. We can stop that because I know some of that's political. We're not going to get into that. I don't.
No, but I love it. But I love it. Yeah.
A lot of that has to do with what happens when they go home. Who's helping them?
Yeah.
I don't have a support team back home, or what if the support team's not good enough? What do we do?
Bro, I love it, man. I love it. And again, you're focusing on the mental aspect of the military, or just life in general. I mean, the military is a huge aspect of what we're talking about, but mental health just throughout the whole board is something that I think many people can oftentimes overlook or find it taboo to even talk about. In the Black community, bro, no one wants to mention mental health. No one wants to. It's something that a lot of us just like completely like, man, if you have something wrong with you up there, or you don't even want to talk about it. It's like most of the time it's like nothing's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you. It's like no, it's nothing. And again, that's something that we as a people in a sense have to also get out of that stigma of that being something that's wrong. Like, why the heck is it wrong to talk about the fact that you may need help or you may need to talk to someone? There's nothing wrong with asking for help. And I don't understand exactly where that stigma of asking or needing help was a sign or had become a sign of weakness. Do you feel like you experienced that? Do you feel like you experienced that aspect of?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You had to fight that. Yeah.
So, yeah. And honestly, it was probably a year into knowing my wife before we got married, and she was like, "You're gonna have to open up, or I can't do this."
Wow.
And I didn't know how.
Ooh.
I didn't know how.
Ooh.
I didn't know how to open up. So it was definitely my wife. Now, my girlfriend at the time, it was a year into us dating. She's like, "If you don't open up, I can't do this. This is not working for me. I need you to be honest, or not honest, open with me and honest about your feelings." I would just be like, "I'm a man.
Yeah.
Handle anything,
Yeah.
and that's the way I grew. That's the way I grew up. And even though I was fighting demons and waking up with night sweats and night terrors and panic attacks, I actually haven't had one since the last conversation we had right before I got married to her.
Awesome,
we had a heart-to-heart
bro.
where I let it out. I haven't had that problem since.
Wow.
I get it. I grew up in that mentality. I'm a man. I don't talk about my feelings until I realize kill me. Not kill me physically, it's gonna kill my soul, and I'm gonna be an empty, vessel just walking around. I don't want that. I don't want my kids to have to see that.
Do you feel like the military, in some sense, again, I know we're putting the military on blast. I don't want them coming for me, man. I don't know how that works, but I just want to, again, pick your brain in this area because, again, you are one of the few that I have the opportunity to sit with and actually dive into this. So when it comes to the military, do you feel like the training and again, Kalina on her interview, she touches on this a little bit as well, how she was someone that was very shy. She also didn't like to talk much. And going into the military, she said actually made it worse. I was like, oh, did the military bring you out of your shell? I was like, did it take you out of your shell? Were you able to because she was always this person that would hide in her shell and things of that nature. I was like, did it help you come out of your shell? She said, I actually made her go deeper into her shell. And so I wanted to ask you that, like, do you feel like the military in some sense aids you opening up and coming out and asking for help? Or do you feel like in some sense it only solidifies you're a man, you should not have feelings, you should not do this? Like, what's your take on that?
Shocking to hear that. Usually, nothing against the females in the military. Like I said, I don't speak for the Army, I don't speak for the DOD, I speak for myself.
Yeah.
Usually women are the loudest, which is okay because there's a lot of crap that happens to women that they do not deserve in the military. And But that's shocking to hear. But I think with me growing up in the military when I was a younger soldier, yes. But now because of where I stand and my business, I am more vocal with my soldiers, especially the younger kids. I don't want them to be afraid to come to me with a problem.
Yeah.
Whether it's personal or military, financial, whatever it is, I don't want them to have an issue. Now, they're probably going to get an ass chewing if it's something that they could have prevented. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They come to me in confidence, I'm going to do everything I can to help them after the ass chewing, and if they deserve an ass chewing. But I think with this younger generation and guys, older guys who are like me who are in between
the
hardcore, early 2000 warheads to, the snowflakes of this younger generation that are coming in, these 18 to 23-year-olds. Not that all of them are. There's a lot of really good soldiers and airmen and, seamen and Marines out there. It's just the stipulation of their training wasn't as hard as ours, but theirs.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more open, and I know a lot more people like me are open. Saw the same issues I did, experienced the same issues I did, if not worse. They're like, okay, I see the issue. We're not handling the issue. How do we handle the issue?
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't like speaking in front of crowds. I didn't like talking in front of people. I didn't, like I said, I had to go to anger management because I wouldn't get my feelings out when I was active.
Yeah.
But being older, I've got this young black kid, Evans. I actually did Tyrese. I actually did a video on YouTube.
I think
when I first got him,
when
I first got him, he was very shy. He was timid. He was afraid to do anything. And in the last 8 months, I've pulled him so far out of his shell where I can tell him to do anything, and he'll go do it. He might be scared, but he'll go do it, and he'll come tell me he's got an issue with anything. I try to give him the best advice I can, or I say, all right, man, we need to get you in touch with somebody who can help you. Mentally, physically, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
In his video, he actually talked about him not being able to pass his PT test. So he's been working out with me a lot.
Wow.
I guess it depends on the leadership. Not all leaders are great, but not all leaders are bad.
Yeah.
And it might depend on where you're at. And, I grew up with combat arms, and as a mechanic, I grew up in the mud.
Yeah.
In the military. Which is, back then it was shut up and fight or shut up and
right.
Let's go. And then now it's, okay, guys, we saw some messed up stuff. Who needs to talk to somebody?
Right.
I'm here. We can get you in touch with a chaplain or, behavior help. Whatever we need to do, we can get to you. And I will make sure I get you the numbers and a time off to take care of you.
Wow.
I think in today's world, it's better. But I wish they would have had this 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
The guys who needed it the most.
Absolutely.
I think now it's getting better. Just wish it would have happened 10 to 15 years ago.
And
it
I
also
think
depends on the person that's in charge.
Yeah. Exactly. Definitely the person that's in charge. Because I think it goes back to what you stated earlier too, and that is, it's now hard to get those people to come out asking for help. People are coming back, but now you're actually having to kind of go out and find the older generational people, because like you said, that the training was different, the leadership was different. So they're not opening up or in some sense welcoming that help. They're in some sense still battling those demons, however they're battling them, if at all. And you're now having to go out and pull them or try to find them, So what you're doing, man, Aaron, bro, is Mayfield Fit. That is absolutely amazing. Again, I've seen some of your videos on YouTube. I've watched some of them. And those people, like you're saying, the people that you're with, those are people that you probably, maybe you do know personally, or you didn't necessarily know personally, but they reached out to you to come and train with you and in some sense have, take on your services. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, they're actually all in my squad. I'm the squad leader of all of them. So I do know them, but they're like the mission that I'm on currently.
Right.
We're not all from the same unit. We're all from different units. We're like a Frankenstein unit. So, like, I didn't know these kids. I didn't know this guy. I didn't know Chris. I didn't know, Tyrese. couple of people I'm working on doing interviews. I didn't know them until this mission started, and so it was kind of like okay, we're here, let's do this. Make it the best way possible. This is who I am. This is how I am. If you have a problem, I am open. I know I'm gonna have to earn your trust. Give me time. I promise you, I'll earn it. And I'll give you a shot off my back if I need to. And I'm a man of my word. I put my money where my mouth's at. So and I showed some of these kids that they're shocked that someone was willing to take a chance on them. Not all of them had the leaders before this or had the lifestyle before the military to have that. So,
bro, salute to what you do, man. This is absolutely amazing. Again, I think I saw what you were doing on YouTube, but I didn't necessarily know it to this amount or this level of detail. And to hear you explaining this, bro, now I'm thinking about the videos I watched, and I'm just like, wow, the camaraderie I saw when you guys were lifting weights, or that huge. I think you had like a huge fan in the back, because obviously it's yeah, obviously it's super hot, but seeing that camaraderie, I saw some of the guys taking their shirts off, so that's when you know they're comfortable. When the shirts come off, people are comfortable, and just seeing that camaraderie in your videos, bro. It not only is the quality of the video amazing, but like I said, the relationship and how I saw you communicating with everybody. I was watching all that, and I love everything you're doing behind what it is that you're doing, the mission behind anything. Again, I'm a sole believer in the fact that you have to have a mission or a goal in whatever it is that you're doing. Otherwise, you become unfocused. That goal is is something that I think keeps anybody intact whenever they're setting out on a mission. And so with LetzJezTalk Fitness, it's the same thing. Whenever I'm feeling like I'm unwavering or losing focus, I focus on that goal, and that goal is to serve others. So to see that that's what you're doing in your business and in your services, bro, salute, man, salute. I have to go into a little bit, or at least I'm curious to know your perspective on. Again, we've been talking about the mental aspect of the military, and you can even say in some sense, generically, mental health and mental health in terms of fitness. But when it comes to the physical aspect of fitness and that whole aspect of, what we see on TikTok, we see the from the squats to the biceps, the triceps, all of these videos on how to work these physical components. But then we also, again, don't see that much about the mental aspect, which we just hit on as well. When it comes to both, what would you say, or would you say that one is more important than the other? Would you say that they both intertwine? Would you say that you really shouldn't focus on the physical until you actually establish or have a stable mental health? How would you go about telling someone that perhaps are listening to this right now, how they should proceed in terms of just looking at mental and physical fitness?
So to answer that question strangely, you have to build the confidence to have a strong mental health. To do that, you have to work for something that you want. So I grew up, I was always a smaller kid. Like, I'm not a big guy, muscular wise. I'm not a heavy guy. I was bullied for being really good at sports, but I was really skinny. So I lifted weights because I was insecure about myself. And the older I got and the stronger I got, I noticed that a lot of people who needed to work out to be healthy, not just for sports, whatever the thing is, their mental health was so bad because their idea of themselves, which was nowhere near as bad as it, or their idea of themselves was so much worse than how they looked, stopped them from going to the gym. I tell this story every time I talk to, especially, fitness enthusiasts, or a young kid a person who's failing at finding the motivation to go or the discipline to go to the gym. When I first got out of the Army, I used to go to this gym called Ironworks. It's in Huntsville, Texas, where my family's from, where I grew up mostly. And there, every day, there was this 250 to 300 pound older black lady that walked the Stairmaster every day I went. Never missed a day.
Wow.
Every day I would talk to her.
Wow.
Every day I talked to her for a year. I'd go do my cardio or whatever. I wouldn't do crazy cardio. I like to walk, or I'd do the stairmaster next to her, and I would ask her about a day. You know, she worked at TDCJ as a clerk, which is Texas criminal justice system, prison system. And after a year, I noticed she had only lost like 10 or 15 pounds. And that's what her motivation was. She said, it's all about this. Whether get down to the weight I want or not, I'm going to be healthier when I get older. It's got to the point where if I have a bad day, I have to go to the gym. If I have a great day, I have to go to the gym.
Wow.
If I'm sad, I have to go to the gym. If I don't go to the gym, it ruins my mental health. So I think they intertwine evenly, but you have to build the confidence to go to the gym. You know, that's why Planet Fitness, as much as I hate Planet Fitness, it's Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
I respect it because it's a place where people can go and they don't feel judged.
Yeah,
if that's what they need to get healthy, that's cool. I'm 100% down for it. I do hate the lunk alarm, but if that's what they need to do to feel confident, cool, man. I am 100% down. I would rather stand next to a 380-pound man on a treadmill trying his hardest than stand next to some kid who's born with abs and genetically gifted, flexing in the mirror. I will stand next to that 300-pound man giving his all.
Wow.
I think it's intertwined. You need one. You can't do one without the other.
Yeah.
And you have to build one while doing the other.
Bro, amazing response, bro. Amazing. And I would agree. That, you know, not to just mention the Planet Fitness bell, which, like you said, I can't stand, but but that whole aspect of what you stated about how someone can look or be so concerned with the physical appearance, but not be mentally there. That's something that I again, just being on TikTok almost all day throughout the time that I've been on it, every single day, that's all I see. All you see are TikToks that are worshiping or praising that physical aspect. But I'll be honest with you, Aaron, bro, the people I've interviewed, just from let's just talk about the people I've talked to personally through interviews like this, it has always been the mental health that they speak on the most. They're always like, again, you see the appearance, you see all these other things that they have in the pictures I post and the videos I make. But if you go and listen to the interviews, the ones I'm posting and everything, it's always body dysmorphia, depression, anxiety, just being self-conscious.
Something's not good enough. Which, I guess, working out kind of hinders that because you work something else out bigger. So let's say, like an Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not going to quote this exactly. He was talking about bodybuilding. Now, I'm not a bodybuilder. I believe in combat fitness, which is training the body to do what it needs to do in case of an emergency. But body dysmorphia, which leads to depression, anxiety, and a lot of other small issues with mental health. It's like, okay, my chest is bigger, but now my shoulders look smaller. How do I get that? Okay, my shoulders are bigger, but my biceps look skinny. It's always something that's not right or not the way they want it, which is a good because it gives them a goal, but it also down a rabbit hole, and now you're like, oh, I'm not good enough.
Bro, you're exactly right. And again, it was those exact words you just said. I'm not good enough. Or there'll be comparison. Again, Brooke, she was one of the females I interviewed a while back, and she would talk about how there was this woman that would walk in the gym, and it's the minute she sees her, it's like, man, here she is, my competition. This woman doesn't even know her probably. It's like, it's just that, like you said, that idea of this isn't bigger. I've worked this out. I've worked this glute, my right glute out. My left glute isn't, like it's trying to literally perfect the body in every aspect. And it then, like you said, leads to the depression or the anxiety or the social awkwardness, because you just don't want people, you feel like people are judging you every time you're talking to someone. It's just all these different things that people are dealing with. And I think, again, it draws back to the aspect of focusing on that, on the physical aspect of fitness, but not the mental. So again, when you hit me up and we DM'd each other, and I'm not exactly sure how we got into the conversation about mental health and being in the military, but that was one of the key things that I completely grabbed onto, because again, it's not stressed. The mental health, the mental aspect of fitness isn't stressed nearly as much, or isn't highlighted nearly as much as the physical, which causes all of these things to be ignored. They're there, in some sense they're there, but they're ignored. Now, and actually, let me ask you this. This will be a personal question. I would have two for you. Do you feel as if going into the military, did it expose those things that you were dealing with mentally? Do you feel like maybe there was some things that perhaps you had? Because remember, you stated that going into the military, you were already going down this rabbit hole. You were already, in some sense, yeah. Would you say it exposed those mental problems or mental demons that you were going through? Or would you say that in some sense it just exacerbated it, or actually created it? Because a lot of people that I interviewed too, in regards to fitness, they would state that their fitness journey, in a sense, exposed the mental health issues that they are actually dealing with.
Yes and no. So I played college football. I got hurt, so I was super depressed. That's how I ended up down that rabbit hole, and I joined the military. It helped me build that confidence back up. I was depressed because I didn't feel like I was good enough.
Yeah.
But the military brings on a whole different type of depression. It's not to put off that this is worse or better type of depression than anybody else's. It's a different type. It's hard to explain. It's the same, but it's different.
Yeah.
Because in the military, if I'm not good enough, somebody dies.
Yeah.
Versus if I'm in the gym and I'm not good enough, I'm just not getting that girl's
Facts. Yeah. Yeah.
It might hurt my ego a little bit. Right. At the end of the day, it's not, if I'm not, which is why when I believe in fitness, I believe in combat fitness, which is the physical fitness to carry through something hard, like a firefight, which could be, actual guns or actual fire, or pick up somebody who needs to be picked up and ran a mile.
Yeah.
Or lift a car off somebody. I believe, not don't get me wrong, I do want to look good. I want to have a six pack. I want my wife to come. I want to come home to my wife and her just drool. But at the same time, I also want to be able to save somebody.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which has helped me working out like that has helped me a lot with my dysmorphia. I'm like, oh, okay, I got, my chest is growing a little bit, my arms a little bit small, but I can deadlift 500. I'm not too worried about it. I know I can lift that side of the car off somebody if he gets ran over. That's what I look at. That I try to find the positive. I used to be a super negative person and miserable. And this is a hard thing, especially for military and service members, as we look at the ultimate failures. What's the ultimate bad thing that can happen? And let's train for it. But they don't think, okay, I'm there yet. I'm there.
Yeah.
I can do that. I don't think of the positive. Oh, I'm almost there.
Yeah.
So I for me, thinking the military definitely helped build confidence in certain areas because it made me believe I could be part of a team again. I could be my own person. I could stand on 2 feet without the alcohol or the drugs. But it also created, being away from family sucks.
Yeah.
Missing birthdays, missing Christmases, missing holidays, missing anniversaries. You work too much. You're never home. Where's your, when you came home from that rotation deployment, your mind's not fully here. And then they're mostly right. It's not.
Yeah.
That's the problems it creates, is versus regular body. Big enough so I didn't get her number. That's how I take it. Like I said, I can't speak for everybody in the military. I just my personal insight.
Yeah.
People I know that not on the actual uniform itself.
Exactly. No, I get that. When it comes to fitness in general, again, knowing that your TikTok, your Instagram, it showcases a consistency in regards to fitness. Like you now seem sold out. You know, I always see content, or I've always seen content where you've incorporated, you know, fitness as a lifestyle. You know, again, you've sent me even just a few, like an hour or so ago, you were sending me photos and things of that nature that I could use for content. But I saw a family also. I saw, you know, the aspect of pictures where you were showing that you were proud of the military and things of that nature. But you've incorporated fitness as a lifestyle.